whatever Washington State's best 2 or 3 games are, our best opportunities to come to Pullman. We've been doing that for a lot of years because we want to get here. But for one reason or another, it just hasn't worked out. Maybe the best game was on a Friday night, Apple Cup on a Friday night or something like that. Or maybe Washington State lost a game they should have won, or a team that they were playing might not have been as good as we thought they were going to be. So sometimes the matchups don't just line up. This was a week where it just, all the stars happened to align, and we were so happy to see that.
Where does Pullman rank in terms of when you saw people, when you came in town for the first time, where's Pullman rank on that list?
Right there at the top. I think the only comparison I could make personally from my time on College GameDay, which I've been working on the show 8 or 9 years, Fargo, sort of similar reception when our trucks rolled into town. Had Main Street was lined up and everything like that, but nothing like this. I mean, the overpasses, on the way into town had people flying flags, and I heard even as far out as Spokane there were fans greeting our trucks. So it was cool, and that's awesome for our guys too, our crew guys. Who just got done like a 2,700-mile journey from Michigan, and they're weary and they're road weary, and now they're thinking, they now have to set up the stage over the next day, so they got that in their minds too. And then to come in there and see that kind of reception, that's just such a psychological lift for everybody, and it's awesome. We cannot thank the Washington State fans enough for that.
Any more for Drew?
What are some unique logistics that Pullman has provided to setting up the College GameDay stage, the location, getting it all to fit?
I would say the simple answer to that is they've just been able to say yes to anything. Can we make the set work here? Yes. Can we do this? Yes. We'll figure it out. Just the cooperation levels were great. As far as specifics for that, I would say, closing off some streets, in the area where our set's going to be, is one. Letting us run our fly cam into the stadium, which, I was just looking at it out there. I think that's one of the longest fly cam runs I've ever seen. And that shot's going to be great in the show tomorrow. Wait do you see it? We're going to come, out of the stadium. You're going to be able to see the Jumbotron with some stuff playing in the Jumbotron right out to the sea of fans and everything. It's going to look really cool. So, I don't know if you can tell by hearing my voice, but I'm really excited for the show. It's not, they're not all like this. So, I've been excited ever since last Saturday night.
Do you have a max capacity for where at some point you're going to have to call the fire marshal and say we just can't have this many people behind us?
It's a good question. We've never run into that problem before. I think it's just sort of as much as the space in the streets beyond can handle. I think we're good. So.
Thinking back to the Halloween edition of GameDay in 2015, when the crew ultimately selected Temple versus Notre Dame over Washington State versus Stanford, how agonizing of a decision was that for you?
Toughest, probably one of the toughest ones that we've gone through. That was another one where, again, Pullman had been on the list for a long time, and that game against Stanford was a really good game. But Notre Dame was relevant for first time in a long time, and we had the opportunity to do our show from Philadelphia, Independence Mall, in front of the birthplace of our nation. It was a unique backdrop that week too. And a lot of weeks, honestly, it's a feel thing. What's going to feel right come that Saturday morning, and we made that decision. Every decision isn't always right. I felt that was one of our better shows, but yeah, that was a tough one.
Is there a bit of irony in the fact that you'd have lost the game and then Colorado, that Washington State gets GameDay because of that?
We were just talking about that with some people last night at the Coug. So yeah, that they can thank Washington, I think, for the fact that this is happening to some degree.
Anything about the show that you can kind of give us a hint about that we should be looking forward to, or?
Yeah, we are definitely going to, spotlight Old Crimson and tell that story for people who might not know. If you're tuning into College GameDay for the first time and you don't know the story of Old Crimson, we're going to make sure people know about that. Tom Rinaldi actually has a really good story about, obviously we're a national show, so we're going to cover all the games. He has a real good story about a Purdue fan who has terminal cancer, and he's developed a really close relationship with the team, and sort of how their relationship is formed and solidified over the course of the season. But really, I mean, we kind of want to be really loose tomorrow. We want to sort of like let the scene kind of like dictate what we do a little bit and be ready to capture some things as they happen. We'll have a few surprises along the way.
What have you learned in the past about these early starts?
Go to bed early Friday night if you can. It's tricky. You know, a lot of our folks will, you know, they'll have their alarms set for 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. And, but it's cool. I mean, I think it's great to watch the sun rise throughout the course of the show. The show will start when it's dark out. It'll end with the sun up, and yeah, there's something cool to that. I mean, you know, I think it's so energizing for us when we show up at the set at 4:30 in the morning or 5 in the morning, and the music's blaring, and the crowd is going nuts, and they're chanting, and like, you know, like if they're up for it, we're up for it. So that's it. I mean, that's one of my favorite parts of the show, when we come out, you know, right before we go on air and the crowd's going nuts. It's the best.
Any update on Popcorn Guy?
No update on Popcorn Guy. Gene Wojciechowski's been hunting around for him, and that's just a tongue-in-cheek little story on you know, what we find to be one of the better fan clips that's ever been put out there. But yeah, Gene's been running around here a little bit. That's as much a sense of place element also, just to capture a little bit of Pullman and the surrounding.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Drew.